Sowell told one victim who escaped from him this past September 2009 that he would not be apprehended because nobody cared about crack women. As a matter of fact, 6 of the 11 women were murdered following misconduct by officials as far back as December 8th, 2008, when they called Gladys Wade's testimony when she escaped from Sowell not credible, while letting Sowell, a convicted rapist, return home, even though there was ample evidence of a bloody struggle at his house, including her sweater inside. If officials are not held accountable for this grave mistake, it is as if the city is saying that the murdered women were trash, just as Anthony Sowell claimed they were. Gladys Wade told the plain dealer that when she saw news reports of the bodies being carried out of the house, she started realizing how many families were involved, and she thought of all the women who might be alive if only she had been believed. The horrific nature of both Sowell's deeds and official complicity is palpable. Wade recounted in the Plain Dealer how Sowell dragged her up his driveway and began punching her in the head and choking her as he pulled her into his house. She said that he dragged her by her shirt and it was tight around her neck. She blacked out and found herself in a room in the house. He kept punching her in the face and she clawed and scratched at him and fought to get to a landing where she could see the outside through a door. He kept jumping on her and she kept grabbing at his face and digging into his eyes. She was so exhausted she almost gave up, she said, but she grabbed his crotch. And when he collapsed to the floor, she crawled out of the door. During the ordeal, her thumb was cut on broken glass. Outside, people she encountered were unconcerned, she said, and when Sowell came out of his house, she found herself in a circle of men. She was screaming and crying, but no one would listen to her. A few streets away, she flagged down a police car, and the police took her to a hospital. She said the police understood how upset she was at that time. They took her seriously, and they stayed with her at the hospital. In finishing this terrifying story, I have to ask why and how the initial stance of concern by the police changed. It appears that official policy is the reason. Later, after the traumatic event, at some official's desk, this shameful policy was enforced. It is a policy that discounts poor women. It tries to keep poor people down. Not credible, the policy states. This is a form of official brutality, and women were murdered because of it. Would we not be accessories to this brutality if we did not speak out today and demand accountability of officials for these preventable and cruel crimes? We demand justice.
Justice!
Justice! Justice!